high-scoring teams who have scored a lot of runs in their first 2 rounds going up against each other. South Central Trojans looking to dethrone the reigning district champions, the Seneca East Tigers, and it's coming up live and free next on OH Report.
I'm Travis Big League Berardi, and you're watching baseball action exclusively on the OH Report.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Ooh, you look like you could use some Cheetos.
Wait!
Take plenty of tasty popcorn, there we go, and add in crunchy Cheetos. Cheetos popcorn, the cheesy, delicious combination you know you've wanted. That's more like it. New Cheetos popcorn. Get yours now. Go!
To the Seneca East Athletic Boosters pregame show here on OH Report. And there you see the Seneca East Tigers. They are the current district champions here in Northwest Division 6. You see their record a little bit pedestrian, but they've made quick work of their first 2 opponents. They got a first-round bye as the number 3 seed, won 10-0 over Mount Victory Ridgemont in the second round, their first game, and then won a thriller over Mohawk 8-7, a game which they had a 7-1 lead at one point over the Warriors before the Warriors pulled them back and made a game out, but still came up 1 run short. And that was both those teams in the Northern 10 Conference. In fact, both teams won their second round game over teams in their own league. On the flip side of that, the South Central Trojans out of Greenwich, Ohio, they also got a first round bye as the number 2 seed. They won easily 10-0 over Buckeye Central, and then 12-3 over Plymouth in the second round. Both those teams playing in the Firelands Conference up in Huron County in north central Ohio. Along with our crew of Adam Thompson and Madeline Zizzuto, I'm Keith Kokinda. Glad you could join us. The South Central Trojans are the visitors. They will take the field here first as we look at the spotlight on the Seneca East Tigers. See all their numbers there. Again, they've scored 7 to 18 runs in their first 2 games. They will be sending Brady Bloom to the mound. And for Seneca East, player spotlight coming up here. You see Caden Fritz. Fritz will be the number 2 hitter playing at first base. There you see his numbers on the season. Now we'll go over and take a look at and there he is, waiting to bat second here for the Tigers. Now keys to victory for the Seneca East Tigers coming into this game. It's the defending district champion. Cat-like defense. Their defense had some trouble in the middle innings in that 8-7 game against Mohawk in the second round, but also base running. Their head coach Rick Bowerman spoke about how aggressive they were on the base pass, both in taking extra bases as well as stealing some bases. So those will be 2 big keys for the Tigers in this game. And the Tigers, even though they're the visiting team, they're going to be they're showing Tigers as the home team on the scoreboard. Galion High School here, the home of the Tigers. So that'll be a little bit confusing. Jim Ruth is the home plate umpire. Speaking of Galion, he is the former athletics director here at Galion High School, preceding Matt Tyrell, who we definitely want to thank for all his help and everything he and his people did to get ready to host this Northwest 6th District. He's in his 20th season of umpiring. Jeremy Zarnewski is at first base, his 40th season. And John Davis is in his 30th season down at third base. And if you're wondering, yes, that's the same John Davis who organizes the Mid-Ohio Spring Classic softball tournament that we bring to you also here on OH Report. So Aiden Hines, the shortstop, stands in for the Seneca East Tigers. First pitch on the way from Aaron Haller is in there for strike 1, and we're underway here in Galion. Natural grass and dirt surface here at Galion High School at Heise Park. As the count evens up at 101, Heise Park has both the baseball field here as well as Church Stadium to our right. Home football field for the Galion Tigers. Place we've been to a few times here with OH Report as well. As the count runs to 2-1. Fly ball into center field. Gunnar Ray has a beat on it for out number 1. 80 degrees here at game time. Partly cloudy. What little breeze there is blowing in from left field. It's very negligible, 5 miles per hour at best. Fritz a little late on the swing, fouling that one back. 320 feet, I should say, down the left field line. 365 in the left center field power alley. 370 to dead center. 355 to the right field power alley. Only 300 feet down the right field line. But you'll see when a fly ball gets hit out there, there's a much higher fence in right field than the rest of the way around. Rest of the way around, fence is 7 feet high. About 12 feet high in right field, though. 1-1 pitch misses upstairs, and again, Haller's behind it. 2-1. Goes with the off-speed pitch, but misses upstairs. 3-1. You mentioned Gunnar Ray is in center field. Troy Ayers in left. Cole Frankart in right. They're playing straight away, not terribly deep. And Caden Fritz draws the walk to get the Tigers their first base runner. Alex Heyman's at third. Eric Sanders, an outstanding pitcher at shortstop, but he's ineligible to pitch today since he pitched a complete game Tuesday in South Central's second round win. Weston June is at second base. Brian Chaffee is at first. Caden Wilson, number 1, catching, and Aaron Haller, number 2, pitching. Nicholas Parks at third base stands in for the Tigers. Long look, and then pitch misses down and away. Heyman's now third place, playing about even with the bag, maybe a step inside of it. Middle infielder Sanders and June playing at double play depth. Parks checking with Rick Bowerman, his coach. Now Parks going to show him, but the runner goes. And the throw down is going to be much too late, so the stolen base puts a runner in scoring position for the Tigers. We'll take another look at it here on our Carroll's Truck Parts and Recycling replay. And South Central Athletic Boosters. So kind of ironic that South Central will be sponsoring the replay of a good Tigers play, but they'll get their chance, I'm sure. 1-1 count on Parks. Haller with a long look back at center. Fisted in the air to shortstop. Sanders will have an easy play for the second out. Good job by Haller to jam Parks. So that'll bring up Jake Bowerman, the catcher, and the manager's son with 2 outs. June moving behind second base. You saw there, now back to his normal position. First pitch is in there for strike 1. With the second of the 4 hitters that he's faced, he's gotten strike 1 over on the first pitch. You can see a decent lead over there by Fritz at second base. Wind is freshening a little bit, but still not much. Certainly not anything to affect play as the ball gets fouled away to the right side over towards the football stadium. We had to do a game with our equipment set up over there, but as the press box faces this way, it is not that far away from this field here at Heise Park. Haller ahead 0-2. Tries to get Bowerman to fish down the dirt, misses. Bowerman stays in there at 1-2. Winner of this goes down to Lancaster. They'll be taking on Fairfield out of Leesburg, Ohio. They won their district final on Monday, blowing out the Southern Tornadoes 11-1. And Bowerman can't catch up with the high fastball, so strike 3 for strikeout for Aaron Haller. So the 1-out walk does no damage. We go to the bottom of this first here. Seneca East in the black jersey with the gray pants. And we saw defense South Central with the all black and the white pinstripes. Haven't seen that look since the Chicago Cubs of the 1970s, white pinstripes, when they had the powder blue road uniforms, as we look at Nick Kirk's team winning the Firelands Conference. And all their numbers as well. Pretty comparable team ERAs, as you saw earlier. Seneca East at 3.11. You see 3.5 for the Trojans. And for the, as we see Brady Bloom warming up there. Eric Sanders, who's playing shortstop today, had the complete game win in the district semifinal. That was on Tuesday, so that makes him ineligible to pitch today. That was the 8-7 win over, or I should say the 12-3 win over Plymouth. And looks like there'll be a change in Jake Bowerman. I mentioned the catcher catching Brady Bloom. Brady Bloom is only a sophomore. You can see tall, lanky kid, 6'2". And finally, keys to victory for the Trojans. Batting or the lower half of the order, 6 through 9 hitters in that district semifinal win against Plymouth. They had 8 of the team's 11 hits. And as I mentioned, back up your ace. As I mentioned with Brady Bloom, Heddles, he struggled a little bit in that in the game against Plymouth, so they want to make sure that they give him the back he needs. Certainly he had enough run support in that game in a 12-3 win.
Leading off, right fielder number 8.
Trojans have the Southern California interlocking SC logo in their jerseys and their caps. The black with the metallic gold numbers and logo. So we call Frankert, the right fielder, to lead things off for the Tigers. First pitch swinging. It'll be Nicholas Parks, the third baseman, to make the play, out number 1. Get another look on the South Central Athletic Boosters replay. Good play by Parks to come over and cut that slow hit ball off. So Eric Sanders, mentioned the shortstop, a senior. You see Sanders, like several other Trojans players, wearing their pants the right length and stirrup socks. Very impressive. Bloom falls behind the senior. He's behind 2-0. These two teams met back on March 24th. Down to third. Parks knocks it down. Going to have a difficult play. Couldn't make the tag. I have to think that'll be a throwing error on Parks. We'll take another look on the South Central Athletic Boosters replay. And it is indeed E5 for the high throw, because the throw got there in time, but it was so high. And a great idea by Caden Fritz trying to make the tag, but equally smart by Eric Sanders to dive into the base. Really, the only time someone should slide into first base is trying to avoid a tag play. So just like the Tigers, the Trojans get their second hitter aboard. This will bring up Gunnar Ray, the center fielder. Ray was 1 for 3 back on March 24th when these two teams met. Another bouncer, Parks, cuts that off, gets him at second for out number 2. Not a hard enough hit ball for the double play, but Parks made the smart play, made sure he got the lead runner. So the pitcher, Aaron Haller, will stand in. South Central not going with the DH. Haller taking up and away for ball 1. And that hit him. So with 2 outs, South Central get a runner in scoring position for the first time.
Next batter is number 9, third baseman Alex Hammond.
So Alex Hammond will now stand in. Hammonds is the third baseman. Spells it H-A-M-O-N-S, which would normally think it'd be Hammonds, but it is Hammonds, like it was with 2 M's. And Bloom gets that one in there for strike 2, to even the count at 1-1. The pitch gets away. Wild pitch will get the runners to move up. Get another look at that, and yeah, clearly the ball bounced well in front of the plate. Hammond's batting at .270. 18 RBI, but only one extra base hit. Neither team has hit a home run this season. Off-speed pitch fools him to run the count even at 2-2. Outfield playing fairly shallow, especially Braden Robinson out in right field. Hammond's with an open stance as Bloom bluffs a throw back at second base. One of those, I know you're back there, Aaron Haller, kind of throws or fakes. Not much of a lead for Ray down at third. Chopper back to the mound. Bloom with a tough play going off the back of the mound, but he makes it for the third out. Boy, easy to lose one's balance there, but Bloom made the play with little difficulty. We go to the second inning, still scoreless, live and free on OH Report.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, it just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
Top of the second, Seneca East batting. Braden Robinson, the right fielder, standing in against Aaron Haller, who misses inside. Haller, joint leader in the team with wins with 6 with Eric Sanders. This is his 9th appearance, 7th start. 3.27 ERA as Robinson swings and misses. That was a late lineup change by the Seneca manager, Rick Bowerman. He originally had Robinson as the DH and Blake Bum, who was to follow as the right fielder, but he switched that up when they arrived here. Bounce to the third. Hammonds with an easy play, playing in on the grass for the first out. On the South Central Athletic Boosters replay, in on the grass, but well off the line, but in the right place to cut that off. And as I mentioned, Blake Bum, the designated hitter, stands in. Haller does have a complete game shutout this season. He's out ahead of that one. Bum is a sophomore. He's quickly behind the count 0-2. to short. Sanders has to wait for the hop, and the high throw gets away. He's in there. That should be an error on Sanders for the high throw. He had to wait for that in-between hop. A lot does you see that eat a player up. Again, Brian Chaffee at first base tried to make the tag. So for the second straight inning, the Tigers get their second batter aboard, and that'll bring up Jackson Gayhart, the left fielder. Gayhart was 1 for 3 when these two teams met back in March. Good lead over there for Bum, but he's back in time. Bum batting .229, 4 RBI. To Sanders at short. To second for 1, and 2 for the... No, he didn't get it. We'll get another look at that replay. A very close play down at first base on our South Central Athletic Boosters replay. Not the hardest hit ball. Sanders did charge it as he should. A good speed by Gayhart to get down there and beat it out. So with 2 down, Luke Mason, the second baseman, will stand in. Mason only hitting 150. He lifts in the air to right field. Cole Franker with a long run. Can't get to it. The first hit of the game for the Tigers on the South Central Boosters replay. Just too long a run for him to make.
Now at plate, center fielder number 20, Blake Foose.
Blake Foose playing center field for the Tigers stands in. Foose at 276. He has 2 triples to go with 10 RBI. As Haller misses down the dirt. Foose, the number 9 hitter for Seneca East, who again won this Galion district in 2023. Reaches for it and fouls it off to make it 1-1. The breeze, which briefly freshened, has now died off completely. A lot of puffy clouds in the sky, but nothing in front of the sun as Adam Thompson turns the fan on me. Missing inside with the curveball. Also want to make sure I thank Brian Skoronsky and Travis Berardi, our executive producers, so I like to call them, for all the great work they did with getting the crew together and getting the games arranged, but also finally getting me an OH Report shirt to wear. So now I really feel part of the team. Adam Thompson had a lot to do with it too. That pitch down the dirt will allow the runners to move up. So the Tigers, with runners in scoring position for the first time, for the second time today, should be another wild pitch. Ironically, I'm sure none of them knew this, but they got the shirt make and model, the exact same ones used by the All-Ohio State Fair Youth Choir as their uniform shirts in 2017 and 2018. Pitch down and in, runs the count full of 3-2. And speaking of which, we had a recording of the 2017 All-Ohio State Fair Youth Choir used for the Star Spangled Banner before the game, as the anthem singer was not able to make it tonight. Foul away to the right side. Keep the count full. Foose not able to catch up with the fastball from Aaron Haller. Three-two pitch misses the wall. No, he got it for strike 3. Little bit of a hesitation for Jim Ruth, but he called him out on strikes. We'll go to the bottom of the second, still scoreless, live and free on OH Report.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Ooh, you look like you could use some Cheetos. Take plenty of tasty popcorn, there we go, and add in crunchy Cheetos. Cheetos Popcorn, the cheesy, delicious combination you know you've wanted. That's more like it. New Cheetos Popcorn. Get yours now. Go!
To the bottom of the second, the homestanding South Central Trojans
Leading off, number 13, second baseman Weston June.
started with Weston June at second base for the Trojans. Takes down and away against Brady Bloom for ball one. Bloom making his first start of the season. It's his 8th appearance. 2 wins and 2 decisions with a 2.02 ERA. June gets ahead 2-0. June batting .328 with 9 RBI. High in the air to the right side of the infield. Caden Fritz in foul territory puts it away. Another look on the South Central Athletic Boosters replay. Caden Wilson, the catcher, will now stand in.
Now batting number
Wilson is a
1,
freshman.
catcher Caden Wilson.
Wilson batting .276 with 3 RBI. Luke Mason at second base playing almost on the outfield grass. Now steps in a little bit. Driven deep into left field. Looks like it's over Jackson Gayhart's head, and it is. That'll be extra bases for Caden Wilson. His 4th double of the season. And the first hit for the Trojans. Check it out on the South Central Athletic Boosters replay, and they'll be happy to see this one. It even sounded good. Gayhart actually took a step or 2 in, and that ruined any chance of him getting to that ball. Great play to get it on the bare hand before it reached the fence, but not enough to keep Wilson from reaching second. Brian Chaffee, the first baseman, with an opportunity. Able to lay off the breaking ball outside. Chaffee hitting .284, 8 RBI. Fouls off the inside fastball. Chaffee was 1 for 3 with an RBI when these two teams met back on March 24th. Down in the dirt, good block by Bowerman to keep that one from getting away. We've seen one wild pitch from each team so far in this game. But that puts the count in the favor of Chaffee at 2-1. Outfield straight away, normal depth. Curveball catches the outside corner. In South Central and Greenwich, Ohio, up in Huron County in north central part of the state in the Firelands Conference. And a balk is called against Brady Bloom. We'll take another look at it. He started to move into the stretch and then stopped, and that's results in the balk call, putting Wilson over at third base. 2-2 on the way to the right side, but foul. Chaffee trying to go the other way. Adam Hines at shortstop, just a step off the cut of the grass. Parks, likewise, over a third, but well off the line. Now Mason moves in near the grass as well, and Fritz is actually on the infield grass. Off-speed pitch hit to Parks at third. They're going to come home for the tag play, and they have him. All right, Parks positioned well on a not very hard-hit ball, but because he was in so close, it made it easy play for his catcher, Jake Bowerman, for the second out. So Chaffee at first on the fielder's choice. Now bring up Troy Ayers, the lone left-handed hitter in the South Central lineup. Ayers was 1 for 2, also had an RBI in that 4-3 5-4 win over Seneca East back in March. Bloom missing upstairs. Bounce to the right side. It'll go through for a base hit. Chaffee on his way to third gets hung up, and they've got him hung out to dry, and they'll get him at second base for the third out. 7-5-4 to get the third out after the base hit by Ayers. So the South Central Trojans run themselves out of a big inning. We've played two, still scoreless in this district final, live and free on OH Report.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, it just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
To the top of the third, we go still scoreless. We're going to look at that inning-ending play last inning with Brian Chaffee getting hung up between second and third. And you see the third base umpire, John Davis, getting over there in the right position to make that call back there at second. And there is JD. Funny seeing him in the OHSAA hat. I always thought that Reds hat of his is attached somehow to his scalp. He organizes the Mid-Ohio Spring Classic softball tournament up in Ontario now and does a fantastic job with that tournament. He's easy to find. Always look for that red Cincinnati Reds cap. Aaron Haller only allowed one hit, facing the top of the order again, Aiden Hines, the shortstop who flew out to Gunnar Ray at center field to open the game for the Tigers. It's in there for strike two. So Haller quickly ahead. No balls, 2 strikes. Hines batting .318 on the season, 6 RBI. To the right side of the infield, Weston June is under it for the first out. Here's on the South Central Athletic Boosters replay.
Now batting first baseman, Caden Fritz.
Bryan over Lexington, bottom of the third. That's on Channel 1. That is our tournament softball game that we have over there. Caden Fritz fouls it away to the right side. He walked and stole second in the first, but was stranded there. One of 3 runners the Tigers have left on so far. As he showed in the opening, Fritz with a .522 average, 15 RBI, 15 extra base hits as Haller misses down and away. Weston June at second base playing very deep. Line drive into left field for a base hit. So Fritz has reached base both times. Second hit for Seneca East. And for the third straight inning, the Tigers' second hitter of the inning, gets on base.
Now batting third baseman Nicholas Parks.
So Nicholas Parks will stand in. He popped up to the shortstop Eric Sanders in the first. Parks batting .250. This is only his 9th plate appearance of the season. Limited by injuries this year, but he does have a double and 2 RBI. Pitched the fastball upstairs as Wilson thought about throwing down to first. Infield is a little shallower than the normal double play depth. Sanders and June at short and second. Hammond's at third, about a step behind the bag. Runner goes into left center field. Long run for Gunnar Ray, and he makes the sliding catch. Excellent play by Gunnar Ray. Get another look on the South Central Athletic Boosters replay. See Ray out there. One more look at it. Good sliding catch. So at 2 outs, Jake Bowerman, the catcher, will stand in. He struck out to end the first. Bowerman batting .323 with 17 RBI. That's second on the team to Parks' 20. To shortstop, Sanders will make the easy flip to second to end the inning. The single by Fritz goes by the boards to the bottom of the third. Still scoreless in this district final. Live and free on OH Report.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Ooh, you look like you could use some Cheetos. Take plenty of tasty popcorn, there we go, and add in crunchy Cheetos. Cheetos popcorn, the cheesy, delicious combination you know you've wanted. That's more like it. New Cheetos popcorn. Get yours now. Go!
Back at Heise Park for this Northwest District 6 final. Still scoreless, along with Adam Thompson and Madeline Zizzuto. I'm Keith Kokinda. Glad you could join us. Back to the top of the order for South Central as well. Cole Frankert, the right fielder, swings and misses at the first pitch from Brady Bloom, the 6'2 sophomore. Frankert hit a hard ball down to Parks at third base. I should say a slow bouncer to third base. Foul tips that one at the plate. Frankert came into this game batting .269 with 9 RBI. Bloom goes outside, looking to get Frankert to fish. He wasn't offering. Outfield at normal depth. Middle infielder's playing pretty deep. That pitch a little bit short of the plate. Luke Mason plays on the outfield grass, steps in a step or two as the pitch is being delivered. Hines at shortstop about a step inside the infield grass. The outfield grass, I should say. 2-2 from Brady Bloom. And he runs the count full after getting ahead 0-2. Unusual to see these pitchers with such low jersey numbers. Aaron Haller wearing number 2, Brady Bloom wearing number 1. Don't see that very often. He missed upstairs, so Frankert works a walk after being behind 0-2. First walk that Bloom has conceded. And that'll bring up shortstop Eric Sanders. Leads the team in hits with 31, RBI with 22, and doubles with 6. Also shares the lead with West and June. They each have a triple. Frankert, not much of a lead over at first base. Pitches up and away for ball 1. All of a sudden, Brady Bloom having a little trouble finding the strike zone. Bounce to the short. Gayhart has the play at second, but that's all they'll get.
Center fielder, Gunnar Ray.
So Gunnar Ray, the center fielder, will stand in. Made that outstanding catch in the top half of this inning. One of those rare individuals who throws left-handed but bats right-handed, but it worked for Ricky Henderson. Fouled straight back. Also worked for a former first baseman at Yale University, George Herbert Walker Bush. He also threw left-handed and batted right-handed. George Herbert Walker Bush once playing against Ford as the pitch gets away. Another wild pitch, second one of the game, and that'll go get Sanders down to second base. And second wild pitch Bloom is thrown. So I mentioned when George H.W. Bush was playing at Yale, they played at Fordham, and they had an outfielder from Brooklyn called Vincent Edwards Scully. The Trojans get a runner in scoring position again. High in the air to center field, but not much movement needed for Blake Foose to corral this one. Sanders tags at second, but he goes back. You see Sanders there bluff the tag up. So the pitcher, Aaron Haller, will have a chance to help his own cause with a runner in scoring position. Haller batting .319 with 16 RBI and 5 doubles. And Bloom catches the outside corner for strike 1. He gets the upper part of the strike zone for strike 2, but he was ahead 0-2 on Cole Frankert and let him get away with a walk. And he chases for strike 3 to end the inning. Get another look at that in the South Central Athletic Boosters replay. First strikeout for Brady Bloom. Ends the third inning. We go to the fourth. Still scoreless in this district final, live and free on OH Report.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
Top of the fourth, still scoreless. Both teams, no runs, 2 hits, and 1 error. As Braden Robinson, the right fielder, leads off. He led off the second by grounding out to Alex Hammonds over at third base, who's playing in on the grass, but quite a ways off the line. Weston June just a step inside the outfield grass over at second base, as Haller gets the curveball over to even the count at 1-1. Down to third, not able to make the play as Hammond. Saunders will try. No, he'll just bobbled that one. So, for the first time in the game, the Tigers get the leadoff runner aboard as we look at this on the South Central Athletic Boosters replay. And yes, Sanders, I'm not sure he would have had a play. Not sure how they're going to score that. We'll find out shortly. Blake Bum, the DH, will step in. He reached on a throwing error by Sanders in the second inning. Quick throw over. Robinson is back. Bum batting .229, 4 RBI on the season. He gets the bunt down, and no play at second, and nobody covering first, but they just did make the play. Take another look at that here on the South Central Athletic Boosters replay. Weston June very, very late getting over to cover first, but he got there just in time. There you see it. As Brian Chaffee there, number 17, had already made the charge, so the sacrifice goes 1-4, moving Robinson to second. And then I'll bring up Jackson Gayhart, the left fielder, who reached on a fielder's choice when his ground out to short retired Bum ahead of him. First pitch in there for strike one. Gayhart only hitting .171, 7 hits and 41 at bats. In the air to center field, Ray has to take a couple steps back. Has it for out number 2. Luke Mason, the second baseman, to stand in. Mason singled in the second. That was the first Tigers hit. Only a 150 hitter. I mentioned it was his 7th hit of the season. Decent lead for Robinson down at second as Haller takes too long a look. Outfield not terribly deep. I'd say a little shallower than normal. Mason lays off, but it's in there for strike one. Again, the winner of this gets Fairfield out of Leesburg in the Lancaster Regional Semifinal. Bum can't catch up to that pitch, falling behind 0-2. That game will be played on Thursday, May 30th, 6 p.m. start time. Mason able to lay off that pitch well outside by Haller. Pop up over the infield to the right side. Weston June calling for it. And there's out number 3. So we're still scoreless. We go to the bottom of the 4th in this Northwest 6th District Final, live and free on OH Report.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Ooh, you look like you could use some Cheetos.
Wait!
Take plenty of tasty popcorn, there we go. and add in crunchy Cheetos. Cheetos Popcorn, the cheesy, delicious combination you know you've wanted. That's more like it. New Cheetos Popcorn. Get yours now. Go!
Brady Bloom makes quick work of Alex Hammonds, the third baseman, and a ground out to Luke Mason over at second. So one down brings up the Trojans' second baseman, Weston June. June fouled out to Fritz over at first base to open the second inning, I should say. We're in the bottom of the fourth, still scoreless on live and free on OH Report. Along with Adam Thompson and Madeline Zizzuto, I'm Keith Kokinda. Glad you could join us for this Northwest District 6 final. Tigers looking to repeat as winners of this district. Driven hard to left field, but right at Jackson Gayhart. 2 down. Now the catcher, Caden Wilson, will stand in. He doubled, the only extra base hit of the game in the second. Reached third on a balk, was thrown out at home on a bouncer to Nicholas Parks over third. Into center field, Blake Foose. 1, 2, 3 go the Trojans in the bottom of the fourth.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
To the top of the fifth, we're still scoreless. Seneca East and South Central in this Northwest District 6 final. To the top of the fifth, Blake Foos, the center fielder, swings through the first pitch for strike one. Aaron Haller's only allowed 2 hits. Foos was called out on strikes to end the second, and he's quickly behind here, 0-2. Fouled away to the right side. Chaffee may have a play on it. He does. Take another look on the South Central Athletic Boosters replay. And again, they'll be happy to see this play by Chaffee. There's a lot of room over there. It's not quite like the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum, but there's a lot of space down both these foul lines in foul territory. Back to the top of the order, and shortstop Aiden Hines. He's 0-2. And takes strike one. Flew out to center to start the game. Popped up to first to start to second, I should say, to start the third. Up the middle, Sanders has it. 2 down. Easy play for the Trojan shortstop.
First baseman, Caden Fritz.
So Caden Fritz, who has one of those 2 Tigers hits, he's 1 for 1 with that single in the third, also walked and stole second back in the first. Haller missing well outside. First time Haller has gotten the first 2 batters of an inning out. Misses down and away again. Well, Fritz taking all the way as Haller misses up and away. Have to think he'll be taking here as well. Outfield still at normal depth. Gunnar Ray a couple steps to his right out in center field. And that one in there for strike one. Fritz was 2 for 4 when these 2 teams played in March. He also had an RBI in that game. An RBI double to be exact, as Fritz can't catch up to the fastball to run the count full. Breeze began to freshen a little bit out of left center field, but still only at about 5 miles per hour or so. And Fritz gets aboard with a walk. Second time he's walked in the game. Second walk also issued by Haller. So with 2 outs, Nicholas Parks at third base will stand in. Parks struck out to end the first. Reached on a fielder's choice in the third, as Fritz was retired 6-4 at second base. Runner goes as the pitch is popped up over the infield. Sanders taking charge. And that will do it. We'll go to our 5th inning stretch now with the game still scoreless between Seneca East and South Central. And we've got a couple of teams here that have scored a lot of runs in their first 2 games in this tournament, and we ended up with a pitcher's duel. And there you see your summary in this game. Tigers have left 4 runners on base, as have the Trojans. The Tigers did get runners to second and third after a wild pitch. Gayhart had reached on the fielder's choice. Mason singled behind him, and they moved up on the wild pitch, but that was with 2 outs, and all Aaron Haller was able to catch Blake Foos looking at strike 3 to end that threat. That's been the biggest opportunity for the Tigers. They also had Fritz at second base, which was 1 out after he walked and stole in second. For South Central, Their biggest threat was also in the second. Caden Wilson with that double, the only extra base hit of the game, reached third on a balk, but was thrown out on a bouncer down to third base. Then Chaffee, who had reached on the fielder's choice behind him, and was thrown out when he rounded second a little bit too far, got hung up. So speaking of Chaffee, he's going to lead off this bottom of the fifth for the Trojans. And he's going to bunt for a hit, but missed it foul. Chaffee is only a sophomore. Takes upstairs to even the count at 1-1. To third, tough play for Hammonds, and he won't make it. Or I should say Parks. So Chaffee reaches. Not sure how they'll score that one. That was a pretty hard hit ball. We'll take another look on the South Central Athletic Boosters replay. Sounds like our scorers are going to give him a base hit on that one. So Troy Ayers will stand in. He singled. And it is going to be scored a base hit. So only the third hit of the game for the Trojans. Ayers had the first hit of the game for South Central and the second, but again, Chaffee got caught out between second and third, and Ayers is going to bunt the runner over. So the sacrifice works. Each team now with a sacrifice bunt. And that'll turn the lineup over and go back to Cole Frankert, the right fielder. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Frankert is also a sophomore. It's a pretty young team, this South Central Tigers. Mason moving over towards second as the curveball is fouled away at the plate. Only two seniors, Gunnar Ray, the center fielder, and Eric Sanders, the shortstop. One freshman starting, Caden Wilson. The rest of the starters are all sophomores for South Central. Though Nick Kirk, their manager, has a lot to look forward to over the next couple of seasons. Throw back to second, and Chaffee is back. Chaffee shortening his lead a little bit now. Frankert out in front, now falls behind in the count. Driven to left field for a base hit. Chaffee will hold at third. So the second time today, the Tigers get multiple hits in an inning. Or the Trojans get multiple hits in an inning on the South Central Athletic Boosters replay. Second time they've gotten a runner to third base. Wilson got there in the second. And that is going to bring Rick Bowerman, the Seneca East manager, out to the mound for a chat. Cary softball team now with a 5-2 lead in the top of the fifth in softball. Of course, we had that game last week. The Blue Devils continue their surprising run in the OHSAA softball tournament. Jim Ruth now taking the slow walk to the mound to see as I'd like to thank all of our sponsors here. Sutton Bank, Frito-Lay, Carroll's Truck Parts and Recycling, along with both of our school's athletic department, athletic boosters sponsors. And the Simple Life Diner in Attica, Ohio. Sounds like a place I'd like to try sometime. So Eric Sanders, the shortstop, the guy you'd want up in this situation. Runners at first and third with only one out. Frankert is back easily. He doesn't have too much of a lead here. And another balk is called, and that'll give the Trojans the first run of the game. We'll take another look at it here. And you saw the umpire out there at second base, Jerry Zarnewski, moving over. So each runner moves up. Chaffee scores the first run of the game. Frankert now down at second. Second balk by Brady Bloom. Good block by Bowerman again. He's had to deal with a lot of pitches down in the dirt. So they get Eric Sanders up with first and third, and he doesn't have to do anything to get the Trojans their first run. He's got a chance to bring in another one as Bloom bluffs back at second base. I mentioned Sanders with 22 RBI to lead the team. And he's got number 23 as that ball is hit in the left center field. No, it's caught. Great running catch by Blake Foose, and they're going to double him off at second base. Two for the price of one for the Tigers. Thank you, Mr. Harwell, as we look at that on the replay. I didn't think Foose was going to get there at first. Certainly, Cole Frankert didn't, and he's doubled off easily. But the Trojans take the lead as we go to the top of the sixth, live and free on OH Report.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Ooh, you look like you could use some Cheetos.
Wait!
Take plenty of tasty popcorn, there we go, and add in crunchy Cheetos. Cheetos popcorn, the cheesy, delicious combination you know you've wanted. That's more like it. New Cheetos popcorn. Get yours now. Go!
To the top of the sixth. Tigers suddenly running short on chances as the catcher Jake Bowerman steps in. 4, 5, and 6 hitters up for Seneca East, along with Adam Thompson and Madeline Zizzuto. I'm Keith Kokinda in this Northwest District 6 final in Galion. Strike one is in there from Aaron Haller. Bowerman is 0 for 2, struck out to end the first, grounded into a fielder's choice to end the third. And some of those big puffy clouds have obscured the sun now, so we got some cooling shade here. Yeah, game time temperature was 80 degrees, probably only dropped a degree or two since then. The wind has been very little factor. It's blown a little bit from left center field, but no more than 5 miles per hour. So Bowerman with the count in his favor at 2-1, and is way out ahead of the changeup. The Tigers with just 2 hits. And foul tip, strike 3 for the first out. Second strikeout for Aaron Haller.
Number 9, Braden Robinson.
Haller's retired 7 of the last 8 hitters he's faced as Braden Robinson, the center fielder, stands in. To the shortstop, Sanders. Routine play, 2 down. Blake Bum, the DH, will stand in. He's 0 for 1 with a sacrifice bunt in the 4th.
Blake Bum.
Reached on a throwing error by Sanders in the 2nd. Outfielders coming in a little bit more now. So Gunnar Ray was out there waving to his right fielder, Cole Frankert, step in a little bit more. Both the corner outfielders, Ayers in left and Frankert right, playing relatively wide. Is a nice play by Haller on the comebacker. He'll take it all the way to the base himself for the 3rd out. A 1-2-3 inning for the Trojans as they take a 1-0 lead into the bottom of the 6th, live and free on OH Report.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
Still plenty of daylight, so no need for the lights right there, right yet. But they were necessary 89 years ago today. This is the 89th anniversary of the first ever night game in Major League Baseball down at Crosley Field in Cincinnati.
Leading off for South Central,
Reds
number
taking
4,
on the Phillies.
Ray.
President Franklin Delano Roosevelt pushed a ceremonial button in the White House to light up the lights at Crosley Field. Idea of the genius general manager of the Reds, Larry McPhail, who later ran the Brooklyn Dodgers. He was the one who brought Red Barber over from Cincinnati to the Dodgers to broadcast the Dodgers games. McPhail family long storied in baseball circles. Lee McPhail was president of the American League. Andy McPhail, once a general manager in the majors as well. Gunnar Ray with a 1-1 count, the center fielder. He's 0 for 2. Liner, great catch by Caden Fritz at first base. It's definitely worth another look on the South Central Athletic Boosters replay. Fritz with the leaping catch for the first out. So Aaron Haller, the pitcher, stands in. He's 0 for 1. Got hit by a pitch in the first, struck out to end the third. And Haller's a good hitter, too. .319 coming into this game. To center field, Blake Foose is going to have a long run, but he'll get there for the second out. Brady Bloom is settling in. He's retired the last 3 he's faced. Alex Hammond's at third base. Grounded out to Bloom to end the first. Grounded out to Mason at second to open the fourth. Bounce at the plate, foul. Outfield pretty much normal depth for the Tigers. Last chance for the Tigers coming up in the 7th. They'll have their 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Parks, Bowerman, and Robinson, I should say, bottom of the order, I should say, coming up. Mason, Foose, and then back to the top of the order, Hines. That pitch got away from Bloom to make it 2-1. Trojans with the only run after a balk on Brady Bloom, his second of the game. Brian Chaffee was on third. Cole Frankert was on first after a couple of singles. Two from Brady Bloom. Curveball misses. Hammonds is granted time by Jim Ruth, the home plate umpire. Into center field, Foose with a long run, but it's going to be Mason who takes charge to put it away for the third out. Last chance for the Tigers, down by a run in this district final, live and free on OH Report.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Ooh, you look like you could use some Cheetos. Take plenty of tasty popcorn, there we go, and add in crunchy Cheetos. Cheetos popcorn, the cheesy, delicious combination you know you've wanted. That's more like it. New Cheetos popcorn. Get yours now. Go!
There's Jackson Gayhart, 7th hitter in the lineup, 7, 8, 9 due up here for the Tigers. Last opportunity to extend this game down 1-0. Gayhart 0 for 2, reached on a fielder's choice, got to third on a wild pitch back in the second, flew out to center field in the fourth, and he hits it into left center field for a base hit to open the 7th. Only the 3rd hit for the Tigers. Last hit they had was Fritz back in the 3rd.
Second baseman, number 8, Mason Luke. Correction,
Luke Mason, the second baseman, to stand in now. Mason's 1 for 2, singled in the second. Popped up to Chaffee at first in the 4th. Hammond's on the grass at 3rd. And he is bunting, but he fouls it away. The bump sacrifice in the 4th. They just barely made the play, did the Trojans, as Weston June was late getting over to second base. Haller in line for his second shutout, second complete game of the season. He got the whitewash of Bucyrus back on April 6th. Yeah, the winner gets Fairfield out of Leesburg in the Lancaster Regional on Thursday. Another bunt attempt goes foul, 0-2. And lest we forget, we'd like to thank all those on this Memorial Day weekend as we open it up who gave the ultimate sacrifice in defense of American freedom. We may not know them all, but we owe them all. Mason with a couple fouled off bunt attempts. Hammond still even with the bag over at 3rd. He'll try it again, but able to pull back as the pitch was down and away. Jackson Gayhart at first after the leadoff single. Only the 2nd time the Tigers have gotten the leadoff runner aboard in this game. Gayhart not much of a lead. He's going, though, and the pitch is fouled off on the bunt for strike 3. Fourth strikeout for Aaron Haller. So Blake Foose, the center fielder, was standing, made that outstanding catch for the double play back in the 5th inning. He was called on strikes to end the 2nd, and here's the throw down to 2nd, and he's out. Out number 2 on the stolen base. Great throw from the catcher, Caden Wilson. We'll look at it again. That is inch perfect. John Davis, our friend, making the call down there. So it's up to Blake Foose now. And the strike is over. Take another look at that pitch from Aaron Haller. Haller goes off speed but misses. Foose with the count in his favor here at 3-1. Swinging for the fences there. Again, neither team has a home run this season. The Tigers down to their last strike. To Sanders. Handles the high hop. The South Central Trojans are district champions. After all the runs these two teams scored in their first 2 games of the tournament, we get a classic pitcher's duel. But ironically, it's a balk by a pitcher that results in the only run being scored. Here's the final out one more time. Boy, that was a nasty high hop for Sanders off the edge of the grass, but he handled the play well. And you see the Trojans there, a very happy bunch. They will go through to the Lancaster Regional semifinal to face Fairfield out of Leesburg on Thursday. Now we will take a break, and then we're going to come back for the awards presentation. You've been watching OHSAA Tournament Baseball live and free on OH Report.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
She got that.
I'm Travis Big League Berardi, and you're watching baseball action exclusively on the OH Report.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Ooh, you look like you could use some Cheetos. Take plenty of tasty popcorn, there we go, and add in crunchy Cheetos. Cheetos popcorn, the cheesy, delicious combination you know you've wanted. That's more like it. New Cheetos popcorn. Get yours now. Go!
Welcome back. It's award ceremony time. The Seneca East Tigers, who won this district last year, getting their runner-up awards, along with Adam Thompson and Madeline Zizzuto. I'm Keith Kokinda. We'll be going down to the field a little bit later, not only for the district championship presentation, but also talk to our Simple Life Diner player of the game. That'll be coming up a little bit later on. See Rick Bowerman presenting the medals to his players.
Number 24, Blake Bum.
And Seneca East, not a lot of threats in this game. And the biggest threat they had was in the second inning when they had got Gayhart to third and Mason to second after a wild pitch thrown by Aaron Haller, one of the few problems he ran into in this game. But Haller was able to get out of it by getting Blake Foose called out on strikes to end that threat. After that, only once did the Tigers get a runner to second base, and that was Braden Robinson in the fourth inning when he reached on an error and was moved to second on a sacrifice bunt. And the seniors will now get the team district runner-up trophy here. All these seniors being recognized here: Jake Bowerman, Nathan Parks, Blake Foose, Aiden Hines, and Caden Fritz. And Marcos Barraza, also a senior for Seneca East. I'd like to make sure we thank all the people that, again, here, Nick Tyrell here at Galion High School, as well as the coaches, Rick Bowerman and Nick Kirk at Seneca East and South Central, respectively. Also, want to make sure we thank the athletic directors as well.
And now let's bring back the seniors
at both those schools.
for
We
the
appreciate
team trophy.
all
Jake
the help that
Bowerman,
they provide to us
Nathan
here
Parks,
at OH Report. Makes our job a whole lot
Foose,
easier.
Aiden Hines and Caden Fritz.
And there are the seniors for
Congratulations to our District 4 runner-up team, the Seneca East Tigers. And now for the 2024 district champions, the South Central Trojans. Number 1, Caden Wilson.
Dave Spraw is the PA announcer
Number
here.
2, Aaron Haller. Number 3, Wyatt Hall. Number 4, Gunnar Ray. Number 8, Cole Frankert. Number 9, Alex Hammonds. Number 12, Eric Sanders. Number 13, Weston June. Number 15, Gavin Olney. Number 17, Brian Chaffee. Number 19, Grayson Fisher. Number 21, Caden Blair. Number 22, Troy Ayers. And number 57, Michael Sanders. And the coaches for South Central: head coach Nick Kirk and his assistants Sherrod Sanders, Raven Workman, and Matt Hall. And again, we'd like to ask the seniors to come forward to accept the team trophy for the champions. Our seniors tonight would be Gunnar Ray and Eric Sanders. Congratulations. Congratulations to the South Central Trojans who will now advance to the regional semifinal. Thanks to Galion and site manager Matt Terrell and all the people who put in their time to get the field ready for serving as hosts for this district championship. Thank you for your attendance and support of Ohio High School student athletes. Please travel safely on your way home.
Okay, so that'll do it for the awards presentation. So we will go downstairs for the Simple Life Diner Player of the Game right after this break, live and free on OH Report.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
starting pitcher, a complete game shutout, only gave up 2 hits, struck out for a walk 2. After the big inning of the first 2 games, how important was it for you to come out and have a good pitching performance tonight?
It wasn't even necessarily I was fortunate.
Speaking of the defense, they came up big in those first couple innings. You got yourself in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I always do. I always find a way to get out of it.
They didn't need much help from your defense after. You cruised after that one. One other sartorial point, great stirrups. Always love to see that. But the last word is yours. You get to give a shout out to anybody you like. So go ahead. Look at Madeline's camera.
I'll give a shout out to my catcher. Still alive, so.
Aaron Haller of South Central, the Simple Life Diner player of the game.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Ooh, you look like you could use some Cheetos. Take plenty of tasty popcorn, there we go, and add in crunchy Cheetos. Cheetos popcorn, the cheesy, delicious combination you know you've wanted. That's more like it. New Cheetos popcorn. Get yours now. Go!
To the Seneca East Athletic Boosters post-game show, but it was the South Central Trojans winning at 1-0 on a great pitching performance by the aforementioned Aaron Haller. The Trojans got their only run in the game in the 5th inning, single by Brian Chaffee. Troy Ayers with the sacrifice bunt to move him to second. Franker with a single to put it first and third, and in a balk by pitcher Brady Bloom, his second of the game, brought in Chaffee with the game's only run. Quite a contrast to the slugfest these two teams had engaged in during the first 2 rounds of this tournament. So South Central goes through to the regional semifinal in Lancaster. They will take on Leesburg Fairfield. That game will be on Thursday at 6 p.m. On behalf of everybody at OH Report, especially Adam Thompson and Madeline Suzuto, I'm Keith Copindo. 1-0 South Central over Seneca East here in Galion, Ohio. Good night from Galion.